So is everyone sort of ready to rock and roll?
Yeah, ready to rumble.
Excellent.
Let's get ready to rumble.
Okie dokie then. Wayne, are you in there? I want to hear your lovely voice. Sex me up. Okay.
Sorry. In the chat.
Yeah. Moo. Okay. Excellent. So we did do a bit of a rundown off of recording, but what I might just do is, does anyone want to give a quick rundown for people that are listening? And this is where you'll get your inspiration points back. So if I hear your voice and you put in something that somebody else hasn't put in, then bang on, you're going to get an inspiration. Also, it wouldn't hurt to do a bit of a recap of the magical items that you got. Remember I posted those?
I got some pearls out of the deck, and I punched someone in the face.
No, I picked up the pearls.
Okay, sorry.
Got it.
You picked up the pearls while I distracted by punching someone in the face.
Yes.
My apologies about that. It has been a fortnight. My brain doesn't work that well.
That's right.
I feel like I should do this like a Run DMC rap. It's like I'll say one word, you say the next one.
I'm too young for that reference.
Oh no!
It stands for Run Dungeon Master Club. That's what Run DMC stands for.
I'm too experienced for that reference.
It hit me right in the wrinkled feels.
So prior to, let's go back a bit from when there was pearls and there was punches. Prior to this, you had semi-narrowly, quite expertly escaped some of the True Fleet.
Yeah.
In the Blackbriar, and you did that very well. In the melee, you probably made some enemies with the True Fleet, although you discovered that as you were able to sort of escape, that it was heating up, things were heating up, you were getting a bit of a rep, like in your wake, as it were. And you made your way to the docks. You were able to buy some magical items from the vendor before you went to go and see Bjerenden to get your payment or get stitched up, either or. You were able. One of the items unfortunately broke, but it revealed something.
That's right.
And it does appear to be, like a DM announcement. So going back, can anyone else remember what else was out there? And what has happened so far?
There was also the basilisk, were they orchids? Basilisk orchids. So that would be changing some fleshy things into stony things. I can't quite remember how many charges and all that kind of stuff we had. Oh, actually 8 charges and a DC of 16, which is very good. But also,
Purse of unspend.
That's right.
Purse of holding unspend.
That's right. So if you want me to elaborate, that was basically, it's a communal garden kind of purse, one side, and then the other side was like a bag of holding. And the purse, this, by the way, Duval was the one that was able to discover all this when he dipped into his magical arcana level as a wizard.
Pretend I had the materials to pull that off as well.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you could have begged, stolen, or borrowed for them. That's fine.
That's it.
Yeah, Duval did a very good job at being able to identify a lot of these things. So you had the basilisk orchids, which will basically, you can use them as you see fit. So the safest way to use them is perhaps set them as a trap to see if someone sort of steps on them or what have you. Otherwise, there's a slight chance of it backfiring if you were to I don't know, attach it to a ranged weapon, or if you were to attach it to your blades. During the fight with the True Fleet, the Cholton death mask that Baron Samadi had, that got broken. Does anyone remember what that revealed?
Yes, it revealed a map, well, the container of a map, apparently. We haven't ventured into it just yet. We thought if it was going to unleash anything nasty, it was probably a good idea to just wait until we were in, maybe out to sea, away from True Fleet and all that kind of stuff. But I do recall that it was a bone tooth canister, and there's a metallic sounding object that rattles inside of it, and the bone decorations are very hard to identify, so I don't think Identify would have given me any magical inkling as to what the heck that was as well. It's just a thing within the cover.
That's right. So it's still a bit of a mystery, all the while it's closed, but who doesn't love a good mystery?
Yeah.
Obviously, Lucho got the hard hat, and Finn got the bandana, which smells of lavender. With regards to the bandana, basically, all the while you're wearing it, you basically get pluses against disease for your constitution. So you get I think it's plus 4 to your constitution whilst against disease whilst you're wearing it.
What?
Good for crips, yeah.
+4. I'm gonna have to do that manually, aren't I?
Yeah, for now. I'm so time poor. I haven't had time to build all your stuff, unfortunately, but I will.
That's okay.
Maybe when there's two of me or something.
+4 to
Constitution saves against disease.
Cool. I don't know if I need it, but cool.
Baron Samadi is asking, what item is this? What item is this?
Purple silk bandana.
So, yeah, that's it. It's a purple silk bandana that Finn picked up. Yeah.
Very nice.
Exactly what you said. Disease-resisting bandana. And yeah, so that brought you to the docks. You came to the docks, and who can remember the name of the captain you were looking for?
Oh, that's a damn good question. I'm sure it's in my notes back here somewhere.
I remember it was a chick, but that's
Yep.
Escala?
Escala.
That's it. Yes, well done.
I have notes for
Captain
a reason.
Escala. And so you had to look up and down. You narrowly avoided some potentially unwanted attention from the somewhat busy True Fleet mercenary that was hanging around, keeping an eye on things. As of yet, you're not quite sure what he was looking for, but he was... What's that?
Sorry, someone was sending me a voice message. I'm trying to shut it up.
Oh, right.
Because it was coming through my headphones and I disconnected it and then it started playing through the phone instead.
I thought it was Crystal, in another room or something or other. I was like, this is a new twist on it.
She's actually called me on the phone and she's talking to me, about what you're saying.
Yeah, 100%. I creepily obtained your phone number somehow, and I'm just waiting for you to pick up.
So yes, you made your way to the docks, and you're able to find the Emerald Panther, basically because it's the only ship that's in the dock at the moment. It's loading up with items. After some asking around, you're able to dig out some pearls, which somebody had overlooked, which is very good, and get into a bit of a brawl with an innocent civilian. And Duval did a bit of investigating and stumbled upon a rather compromising or somewhat compromised Captain Escala, and that pretty much much brought you to where you are now. She obviously mentioned that she'd had a night on the tiles the night before and had lost her hand for marriage, not in marriage, lost her hand for marriage with the carpenter. And she said she couldn't face her crew or really captain a ship without it. And that's what brings us to this point.
Yeah. Very good. Probably at this point as well, I would have noted that Duval, for his long rest, probably would have asked or snuck below deck on the Emerald Panther to spend some time fastidiously going over the spell book that he got his hands on, as well as building up a concoction with the alchemist kit as well that he's put into a little vial that he's slipped away into his bandolier. But he's all ready to go and have a look at the carpenter's house now or place of work and see if we can find a way. I think the idea was that myself and Baron were going to go through the shop front and run a diversion for Lucho and Finn to go sneak in the back, and Dorful just to be a gigantic tank and do what tanks do.
Gotta stick to what you're good at.
Legitimately and literally a tank, like literally a tank, a man and machine with a gun. That's fantastic. All right, well, so how are you going to do it from here? What's your plan of attack, apart from obviously the faces of the team, the charisma pies? They're going to come in through the front door, and some of you are going to go through the other way. If I didn't explain last session, I will just quickly run through that. It's basically the house is basically living quarters on the top. You've got the shop front in the middle, and let's say you've been and had a bit of a look, or Escala could have told you.
You said it was 3
there's
levels.
also a
That's
basement.
right.
Yeah, and that's where you stand. So it's up to you as a group of professional adventurers how you're going to
I
do
don't
this. You're going
think
to do it by.
professional covers us.
We get paid. That's about as professional as it
I
gets.
would just go with adventurers. Like, knock out the professional.
I just need to run down to the front door and let somebody in. I'll be back in a sec.
Okay.
Garen Samid says we're going to balls this up. I disagree.
No, we won't.
I disagree. I think we're going to lucho it up.
Baron and I are going to charisma the hell out of this and keep the guy captivated.
And I'm gonna lucho it.
Fuck yeah.
Lucho is like this crazy curveball. If everything goes to shit, call on a Lucho.
I'm not really sure if that's a positive or a negative yet. If I'm gonna lucho it, we'll figure it out.
Both. Definitely both.
I think it depends. Like, you want someone to be punched in the face? Like, yeah, we're gonna lucho this shit. You want, like, subtle? No, I'm gonna lucho that shit.
So between you and me, we have to somehow subtly get in. I'm thinking, I was about to say, do we know of any access to the basement?
So I'll recap for when Maddie comes back and Baron Samadi's back. But as you've done, what I would need is an investigation roll from either one of you with advantage if you're both going together.
I've got a -1, so I'm happy to give it to you to roll.
I've got a +2, so...
Yep.
I've got a +4, so I'm happy to take the advantage.
What are we talking about?
Oh, I was about to say, yeah, we can give it to you. 100%. Oh! Did I just hear?
Yes, we heard
Yeah, I
Wayne.
think we did.
From Maddie.
What are we talking about?
We want to investigate the building further to look for points of ingress.
Boom.
Okay, investigation not my strong point.
Okay,
Apparently it's Deval's.
I'm good with the investigating. Alright, let's give this a roll.
Kiss a Papa Legba man.
Papa Leg Bar.
I was
What
gonna
is
say,
your
I'm
voice?
glad you have advantage, but that really didn't help.
That really did not help. That was a very mediocre roll.
We have guidance.
And add a d4. Okay. Do that real quick. Boop. Oh, shit. Son of a bitch.
Well, that's a 15.
The what your 15 is pretty good. I'm assuming that you've chosen to go during daytime, or are you going by nighttime?
If it was
What sort of
still
time of day?
daytime when we got the... we would have probably had the long rest. Maybe we would have gone more towards the maybe early dawn so as to not look conspicuous and get spotted by the true fleet that are probably looking for us as well.
That's definitely something to pay attention to now that you've given yourself 8 hours rest.
I was thinking 3 in the morning.
Bad news will have about 3 in the morning.
Yeah, that sounds good. That's a nice nighting hour to do some sneaking.
So there's definitely enough light to be able to see that whilst the stone floors, like the pavement and stuff, the street is made of stone, there are some relatively small glass windows which kind of allow additional light into the basement. They're opaque, or made so badly that you can't really make out what's on the other side. But what you are aware of, that there's no light coming out, so if there's anyone in there, they're either got excellent dark vision, or they're asleep or doing something like that. The window is probably just about big enough for a human to crawl through, because obviously the whole town is made for human size.
So a Lucho would be a bit smaller than that.
I am much smaller than that.
You definitely get the impression that Lucho would just literally, if you were to just butter him up, he'd just slide right on through.
I need butter. I'll get hungry. I'll eat it.
You imagine they're like sort of arch shaped, as it were.
You planning to cook me?
Lucho legs.
Lucho legs. Buttered frog's legs. So pretty much most of you, it would take a bit of a Lucho if you're able to get the one of the windows open, then you would just be able to go through unabated, as it were. But if any of the human size might just need to make like an agility, athletics check, or
I have a way to get myself through the window, but I don't think it's going to be quiet.
Oh no.
I was thinking the same thing.
Put down the bell.
I can also just hopefully find a door on the inside, so you guys don't have to climb through the window, but just don't cook me after we butter me, okay?
I won't.
That doesn't sound convincing, Finn.
Yeah, I promise.
Hey.
So does anyone have any affinity towards thieves' tools, or can anyone think of an ingenious way of perhaps penetrating the base?
I am an
proficiency
effective
with
way.
tools.
I am an effective way of penetrating doors, walls, windows. Just throw me at it. It's G.
I think what he's looking for is an effective and quiet. Emphasis on the quiet, man.
Well, I have these tools and I'm proficient in them. If you want to give that a crack.
Well, I wonder if Dorful was able to give Lucho a leg up to try and maybe get in on the top floor, so kind of bring Lucho and Finn up. Yeah, because Lucho can jump pretty goddamn high. If there might be an unattended window up higher that might allow easier entrance to kind of ferret down whilst Duval and Baron try to go and make some interesting business at the shop front.
Yo, I'll just Santa Claus this shit. We're coming through the chimney.
I think there's a problem with your timing, Monk, because if we're coming in and trying to butter him up, that would be during the daytime.
Oh yes, I do mean during the daytime.
Whereas also, Lucio, wouldn't the carpenter be upstairs during the night?
If I come through the chimney, he won't know, right?
What if
That's how chimneys work?
What if there's no chimney?
Then I guess I'll just come crashing through the roof. Either way, we're in the house.
Sneaky, sneaky, quiet.
Huh. I'm not sure how to do that. That's like an
Yeah,
owl.
that's what I like about this little test is basically there's more than one way to skin a cat. I just wanna hear ideas and
Maybe
I'm
Dolph
feeling really sorry for the cat.
maybe Dolph can pick the lock and we can try search downstairs quietly.
Sounds like a plan. Unless anyone has like a grappling hook and we can.
Has anybody got the spell silence?
No.
Nope.
Because I could make lots of noise and no one would hear it.
I feel like if I had that spell, it might be permanently in use. So no.
Yeah, 100% it would be. I'm very good at noise.
Look, I suggest, like I said, we get Dolph to open the door quiet, we search around quiet, as best as we can. And then if it all goes to hell, then you can Lucio it.
Okay.
Think of Lucio is plan B.
I don't want to be plan B.
Alright, plan C then.
Plan
Yeah, since
Alpha.
we're in the dead of night, then let's try pick the lock and see if we can get sneaky with it. I'll stand out on point, given that I am extremely unstealthy, and I'll just keep a lookout.
I am definitely not stealthy. I can just get through a locked door, apparently.
That's it.
I give you
okay,
the...
well, it sounds like I'm going to need a couple of rolls out of you guys. Obviously, Duval, I need to make sure you've got your eyes on the prize, and you can either roll me maybe a stealth, but I would probably prefer perhaps perception.
Cool.
And
Slightly
Dolph,
better.
you can have the kissing of Papa Legba.
Lovely. Yeah.
And Dorful, if we could have a dexterity, maybe sleight of hand check so we can see whether you can get in.
No worries. That's 13.
Roll a d4,
Okay,
man.
so we'll get Baron Samedi just to
Oh.
roll the d4.
Yep.
Or either or. Nice.
All right. That's damn good for a D4.
That is.
It's actually saved you, yes, because 12 wouldn't have done it, but 15, whilst Duval perhaps is a little bit more concentrating on what Dorful is doing, Dorful is just literally this big hulking warforged who is just able to just nimbly, like, click and fiddle away with the latch, did a little bit of this, did a little bit of that, and has been able to successfully open the downstairs basement window. To answer your question, Crystal, as
Never
far as
mind.
you can
It's all good. It's just
all
been
good.
answered. It's all good. You just answered it with the question. Or with the statement just then.
Right. So yeah, none of the windows obviously being the basement. The carpenter's obviously been quite conscious about people breaking in, so they were all locked, but one is now open, courtesy of Dorful. Well done.
Excellent.
So who's going in?
Butterfrog.
Butterfrog is up.
Butterfrog.
Yeah, like, while you guys have been trying to open the window, I've just been smothering myself with some kind of buttery thing.
Oh, that's a great idea. That'll help you get through the window. You're like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it's
How's
just-
about I've got a tub of butter and using my shape water, I'm basically just from a distance lathering Lucho up. So I
I don't
don't
wanna
have to
touch
touch him.
Alright, and then I just jumped through ever so elegantly like a frog.
Okay. I am gonna request a friendly stealth roll. Basically, if you get a 1, it's not gonna be good for you.
I can't get a 1. I've got a +3, but that doesn't mean shit, really.
We go back. Hey, beautiful.
21. Very nice. Very nice. Okay, well, yeah. I mean, you're doing it pretty quiet. That's not stealth.
Wait, yeah, that's not stealth.
But if you get the plus, if you still got the same plus for your,
So you still stop me on the way in.
Yeah, I
That's basically
really
it.
missed the open window. I dived through the closed one to its left.
I'll take your first roll because like the pluses are still the same, so the outcome would have been the same.
I'm really good at clicking the wrong one, sorry.
Okay, well then, so what we might do now is I might just port you over to the next map. And we will go from there. So, where's the basement? Here we are. Do just bear with me. And I will get rid of this as well. Right. Oh man, where's the rest of you? I've got Lucho. You're inside. 1 sec. This will all make sense. I just need to port the rest of you. Sorry about this.
All good.
Oh, good, mate.
Duval's doing a terrible job of looking out after staring at his spell book and writing things in it and staring at things point blank range. Has no dark vision, but yeah, I'll be the lookout. This is a great idea.
So while Lucho is doing this, what do you guys intend to do? With regards, are you just going to hang around outside and sort of act like the muscle, or
Just look real casual.
That's it. Just very casual, trying to stay hidden, but at the same time being very alert as to what's going on and waiting to hear if there's any crazy ruckus that comes from inside.
We're just waiting to hear the crazy ruckus that's going to come from inside.
right?
The crazy ruckus, or are you waiting to hear the Lucho?
Same thing, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just less
Lucho that's
syllables.
inside. Okay, I'm able to drag your thing. Hopefully your port. Have you ported over?
Heading over. Yep.
So, as you break through, Lucho, you're aware of this strange sort of. You land sort of feet down in this sort of strange magical ichor that gives off a slight sort of like a luminescent glow. It doesn't hurt, it doesn't burn or anything like that, but it seems to be the only light source in the room. And do you have dark vision or anything?
Nah.
Okay, so being as dark as it is, this is pretty much what you see. Obviously, you understanding the outside of the house, you know that you've come in through one side, so basically you're faced with the whole rest of the room to kind of discover. Can anyone remember what the hand looked like? What was the sort of the characteristics of the hand?
Was that wooden?
Yeah, there was some of it that was wooden and some of it that was metal, and I think that it had some good like animation magics cast on it as well.
That's right. That's gonna help you when it comes to trying to find the hand. Basically, Lucho, what you discover is the whole place smells of really nice, like sandalwood, pine, all this real like medley of aromatic lumber. All around on the floor, there's shavings or sawdust, and you notice that your footprints are left in some of the sawdust. as you drop down. What would you like to do?
Hey guys! Guys! Should I clean up my footprints?
No, don't
It'll
worry.
be fine, right? Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
We'll be out of here in no time.
It'll be
We
fine.
can flood it after.
Where's the
Remove all
door?
evidence you were ever there.
Where's the door? I can't see anything. Someone tell me where the door is.
You don't need to go to the door, just look around.
I was gonna let you guys in. I can't see anything.
Is
Shit.
there a basement door, or do we just climb through the window?
I think we can just climb through the window. As long as was it a athletics check to squeeze on through?
Yeah, it's either athletics or agility. Is it the other one? Either of those.
Has anyone got like
Acrobatics.
dancing
Sorry, yeah.
lights or light or something? That's another option. I'm blind right now.
Duval turns to Baron and said, I have a way to make some light in there, but
Ooh,
do you
actually,
have something?
Hold on, I just remembered I have magical tinkering. I can make an object shed a bright light within 5 feet and a dim light for an additional 5 feet just by touching it.
Okay. Just
Put it on my head.
put it on a rock and then give her a like a
Put it on my mind as a hat.
No. Put it on a rock
What
and
was-
give
what was
her
that?
put it on a rock and then like, give it to her with like a cloth over so she only sees the ground. You don't want it man to go everywhere.
That's a good idea. Can I find a rock that's about the same size as Lucha?
What?
Squash the frog.
What's wrong with you? Little pebble.
Fine. I find a small pebble and I use magical tinkering to make it cast. Yeah. The object shines a bright light in a 5 foot radius and dim light for an additional 5 feet, and it doesn't look like anything
That's nice.
That's
else.
That was
very good.
way more subtle than what I was going to do. That's excellent.
We were gonna need this shade water to put out what you were gonna do, weren't we? Tim.
Basically, you
I
get
don't
something
like
that
that.
looks like. Get this. Oh no! I've done a thing.
It's like as you're lighting the rock, I'm like jumping so I can see what you're doing, and you just see this little frog head at the window appear every few seconds. Like,
With the additional light, you can see something like that as you come in.
Okay.
There's maps and plans, table after table. Or there's workbenches, there's tools. What's that?
Is that a people?
Are you gonna head over and it's yeah, okay, so you're heading over a bit more. That reveals
Slowly.
a little bit
So that-
more.
I don't blast them with. It's a people.
It's what seems to be like you start to see. Let me just ping it over here. You do see like some kind of magical incantation of some kind. It's another thing, almost like a pool of water that's flickering with a very strong, like, magical glow. Some kind of symbol, like embedded or as a glyph inside the magical pool. Close to the other side of this desk here, you do actually see what appears to be a half-created mannequin with arms and an incredibly uncomfortable gaze. Its head slowly turns to look at you, and its mouth starts to kind of talk, but there's no sound comes out.
Oh, thank God. I was gonna jump on it. Like, shut up. Okay. Well, is it bigger than me?
It's sort of human-sized. Like I say, it's got
I
no
don't
legs,
like it.
so it's
Yeah. No, I don't like it. Not a fan of
Yep.
it.
That's creepy.
Not something I can punch to death by the looks of things from here.
If any of you remember from last session, Escala had mentioned that the carpenter was an interesting character, and he likes to make friends.
Literally. Ew.
I don't want to be here anymore. I want.
You chose the basement.
On the other hand, Lucho, steal the doll.
It's bigger than me. I don't want to drag out something bigger than me.
You have 17 strength. You could probably like yeet it out the fucking door from where you're standing.
Yeah, probably.
If you yeet it out the window, it's going to take me forever to fix it.
So as you've come a little bit closer, I'll be able to reveal a little bit more of the room for you. You basically are able to see, I'd say, all of this now.
You're gonna stand on the
As you
table.
move forwards.
Everything.
As you stand on the table,
Blocking my view.
what's that?
So the table's not blocking my view. I'm like 2 foot tall.
It's now that you've revealed a lot more of the room that you see here. There basically is a lot of knickknacks. Like he's made a whole bunch of hands. There's rejected ones. There's ones that he's halfway through, like completion. There's also limbs and legs. There's a pair of legs underneath the creepy mannequin, just like disembodied, like just hanging as if they're about to be fixed, almost like a broken puppet. You do just see out the corner of your eye, there's another creepy looking mannequin. Slowly, its head turns, but its shoulders don't, and it just starts to watch you. And again, it's like the two mannequins are just talking to each other.
I'm just gonna grab all the hands that I can see and just throw them one at a time out the window. Is it any of these?
Okay.
I don't know what it looks like. I'm just gonna throw you guys the hands. It was magic. You can do that, right? You can check that.
The Baron's gonna look at the magic of them, Han.
So are you gonna sort of slink in there, Baron Samadi?
No, I'm throwing them out through the window.
Okay, the Baron's going to cast Detect Magic, man. And then, I don't know, I'm tempted to go in there because I don't know if we should leave Lucio there unattended.
No. I don't have a response, but just know that I'm hurt.
Can I mold earth a ladder, please, to get myself up to the window?
Why don't you
by all means, that's a great idea.
yourself a door in the wall or a hole in the wall?
Alright, I mold earth a ladder and then I climb down into the room.
Well, that definitely negates any checks that you would have to make, because you have a lovely ladder to climb down. As you basically, if you want to enter yourself into the room, what's your dark vision radius?
60 foot, man.
That is definitely enough to reveal the rest of the room. So bearing in mind only you can see this, you know, when it freezes, that's just brilliant. Basically you see this in the rest of the room. You don't have to do any DC or anything, do you, for cast magic, detect magic?
No, man, it's just a spell. Automatically happens.
Basically, everywhere you see this this kind of glowing goo and like footprints and stuff is emanating like quite a bit of magic. It's obviously like sort of residual, but the primary source is absolutely definitely this strange basin over here. And obviously these three mannequins, they basically, the first one doesn't stop. Her eyes don't stop watching Lucio, but this one over here starts to look at you, Baron Samadi, and they all just seem to be mouthing like frantically, but it's as though nothing's happening. They're just, maybe it's a very strange sight to see.
Alright, can I have a look at these hands?
Baron, there's lots of hands. Come see.
Sure, so I get you to do investigation.
Investigation, alright, I get kissing a blouse on Baba like my man. I can find it.
Because whereas usually a detect magic would help you find that one specific magical item, what you've got here is basically all the items are magical in one way or another. So you need to kind of remember the description. That's great. Oh, look. Both you and Lucho spend some time down here, and whilst you find some really interesting plans that you think perhaps Dorful might be interested in, or interesting scripts and scrolls that perhaps Duval may show interest in, or even yourself, you don't find a hand that's complete that matches the description of what Escala gave you.
Is that ladder still there that Baron Samedi used to get in? What's happening with that one?
Yeah, that lasts for an hour.
Cool. Any chance I could use that to come in? I want to investigate those dolls that are trying to mouth stuff at us.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. Just hop on in.
Sweet.
Just be aware, man, we're here for a job.
Absolutely, but it seems like these might be a problem or possibly helpful.
I'm just saying we can go upstairs now and look elsewhere without disturbing them.
Like, would I need to touch them to investigate them?
I would get you to roll. Well, it's going to be a difficult one. Roll me insight, please.
Cute.
Oh, it's good. It's good, and it needed to be good because you get the impression that this is obviously some kind of very creepy home security that's literally in place to stop this kind of a thing. You get a bad vibe from the way that they look at you, almost like an angry dog is waiting for that moment when it's allowed to unleash its rage, as it were, and they watch you eagerly, and you can see them all communicating with one another, but they don't do anything yet. Their appearance really puts you on edge, and you get the impression that if you were to maybe touch them, as they're such a high source of power, it might not be the best. Also, with that insight, you're able to deduce that the hands that are on these mannequins are not the hands you are looking for.
So the hands aren't here, man. Let's go upstairs.
Can I come?
Can I tell anything about what might set them off besides touching them? Like if Lucho jumped in the pool, or if somebody opened the door upstairs, because it's weird that they're all standing around that pool.
As you're not incredibly versed in... Oh, no, you are versed in Arcana, aren't you? Yeah. The magical pool looks like it's some kind of part of a ritualistic sort of... part of a ritualistic ceremony, as if it was to be like... you would imagine that they would make maybe the puppet or the hand or the leg, and then putting it into this basin, and then casting magical words, etc., would be then like the final part of a ritual that would then imbibe it with some kind of magical life. You're more than welcome to give it a go with any of the body parts that are lying around.
No, man, we're not touching nothing. Here for a job.
Make me magical. Baron, do it.
I was kind of tempted to push Lucho in the pool. Oh, can I steal some of those plans that you were talking about that I might find interesting?
Not now, man. We do it as we leave. Because I don't want to get to fight. I don't want to get to fight with 3 crazy wooden beings. You never know. So let's just go upstairs quietly.
That sounds fair.
I signal for Duval. Duval, do you want to join us?
Okay, Finn, if you want to be the lookout, I'll keep eye contact with you because this is getting creepy. He's gonna head on down and still kind of be a bit further back from these mannequins or these weird incomplete dolls, but also with the pool and the sense of magic that's in here as well. Some of his Blood Hunter vibes are starting to kick in. So I'd just like to do an Arcana check just to see if I can divine what kind of magic this is, and if it's anything to do along the spectrum of like either Fey, Fiend, or Undead, if that's okay.
Sure. Okay. If you want to make me perhaps an Arcana roll with advantage, I would say. Hey. So with a 13, and given that you're quite fresh to your studies still, perhaps a lot of its mysteries remain sort of quiet to you, but you get the impression that it is of some kind of Fey origin, and what's more obvious is that it's like a transmutation. Like it's giving off a sense or a smell or however you want to imagine it of like transmutative magic.
Okay, with that, Duval getting that slight scent of Fey magic, he grips the pommel of his sword and kind of breaks the sword out of the scabbard a little bit and looks to Dorfel, Lucho, and Baron, start shaking his head and said, "I don't like this. This doesn't feel good."
Alright, so now we go upstairs. Come on, quiet.
You go, I'll stay.
Okay, as you make your way...
Deadpan staring at these mannequins.
Alright, Dorfel, Lucho, come on up now.
Okay.
Can you guys see the stairs that I've just revealed?
Yeah.
Excellent. I'll just make a map. That's better. So yeah, as you come up, again with your amazing eyes, it isn't too difficult to basically hang on 5, 10. Yeah, it's no problem. You see the whole room. And this would present itself as the more presentable shop floor where the business is done, the trade is done. The likes of over here is all the shop counter, which sort of divides the customers perhaps from the carpenter himself. Again, there's more scrolls and plans lying around. Most of them are bound. But yeah, they all have magical scrawlings on them, but a lot more presentable, definitely compared to the workshop downstairs. That's what you're presented with. Here are high shelves of various wares. Some have really gathered dust and look like they've been there for ages, and some look quite fresh and quite new. What do you like to do?
I'll follow your lead, Baron.
I see magic all the time, man, so what's magical?
Again, you get a very strong, let me do a little bit of a drawing if I can. You get a very strong sense of magic from all along here, all along the shelves, from here, and these back shelves. Basically, there's a whole bunch magic stuff happening. Wherever you see there's kind of scrolls and shelves containing these magical hands and feet and heads and other various ominous looking body parts. There's actually an alarming amount of heads. Yes.
Is this like an abjuration spell, man? Like an alarm that goes off?
No, again, it's like a warming down. It's like a Fey version of, I guess you could akin it to perhaps necromancy. It's not malicious, it's not malign, but it has that kind of almost untrustworthy, that feel about it. You know what I mean? Like it's a little bit mysterious, it's a little bit unknown. But it has that kind of necromancy, like it has a purpose to serve type thing.
Would opening a drawer man set it off? Or a cupboard?
I can get you to roll me, just basically roll me an intelligence just to see Actually, no, because you've got it with your magic. No, basically, you get the impression that obviously these are majority all the wooden items that are made for patrons would be safe to touch. Obviously, that's what they're there for, is for them to admire the handiwork, and they're obviously presented well. Some sit on fine sort of velvet cloths, whereas some are just sort of tossed to the back or dropped on the floor gathering dust. It's the scrolls give off a very sort of neutral magical energy. A lot of them are bound, but perhaps the one that you can see here, this one's open, and you're able to read that from where you are. It's basically some kind of closing ritual that seems to almost as a component, but that perhaps could be thrown into the basin, and it's basically part of the ritual, and that would maybe explain why there's so many lying around.
Okay, but there's drawers underneath it, man. We could open those up.
Yeah, by all means, yeah. They don't seem to be any like magical wardings or anything like that coming from there, no.
Alright, so I open up slowly, very quietly, and looking for a hand. The hand that matches the captain's description.
The drawer threatens to make a bit of a squeak as you open it. You know, it's a big, solid, very well made chest of drawers. You don't find any hands in it, but what you do find is a silver bar worth, I would say, about 50 gold.
Ooh.
Alright, just put it down gently and carefully and keep looking.
Within the other drawers, there's some scrolls. These are of some kind of magical... They're slightly different. They don't have the same branding as the closing ritual scrolls. They have a variety of different kind of transmutative kind of abilities sort of emanating from them. They're all bound.
Alright, leave those, man. Alright, so I indicate to the rest of the group to say maybe we have to go upstairs. Okay, I come back down. I tell Duval and Erstin, I say, it doesn't seem to be among all of the other crap that this person has. Some magic or something. We might have to go to the top floor. It's gonna be under his pillow, I'm sure of it.
That's okay. I can get it. We'll be fine.
You can get it.
We'll be fine.
Alright, are you coming to join me then, man?
Yes. I'm on my way.
And what about you, Toffel?
Yeah, I'll come up as well.
Alright.
I'll have a look at what else is in here that we can steal on the way out.
Yeah, Dorfel, you definitely notice the scrolls and the silver bar sitting in the drawer, unless somebody's closed it.
No, I left it. I put the bar on the ground and the scroll exactly where I found it. Just, it's more of a distraction than anything else. We got a job to do.
Okay,
Let's go get it.
so you make your way up the stairs.
Yes.
Yes.
Again, basically, this little area is revealed to you if you want to bring yourself over to up the stairs here.
We go down.
Lucho, you're the first up, so I get you to roll, or everyone that's walking up the stairs can roll me both a perception and a stealth check, please.
I'll roll the right one this time. That's stealth. On perception.
Before I move and start making noise, I try guidance, man.
I have a passive perception of 18. And a 17 on the roll.
That's fine. So
Advantage. Let's see if it gets worse.
Did you just like fall back down the stairs?
He's full
I was being
furious.
serious.
So, is the advantage something?
No,
that
I have disadvantage. I just wanted to see if it got even worse than the 3. Oh wait, no, that's a natural 1. I fucked it.
Yeah, there's no skirting around that one. Okay, Baron Samedi, what did you get?
20 something. Oh, the second. Alright, so perception is 23. Stealth. Oh, looks like I didn't roll stealth. 15 stealth with a d4 added. 17 stealth.
Okay. Unfortunately, that is not the best stealth roll from Dorful. I will just roll a real quick perception roll just to
I
see
swear to God,
if...
if he gets like a 2, I'm gonna cry. Like, happy cry.
The dice, give me the dice. Oh, wrong one. There we go. He basically, oh no, he's in La La Land. That's basically good enough at that distance. You basically put your foot through one of the stairs, it cracks and it grinds, everybody looks at you, but there's a ear-piercing sort of noise as it cracks, but it doesn't seem to wake up the sleeping carpenter. This is the room you're presented with. Seems to be growing sort of various trees, perhaps for analysis and that kind of thing. And yeah, you've got like a bedside table, a couple of chest of drawers over here, and more of those scrolls and research.
I'm
Over
looking for a chest of drawers or bedside table that glows magical with magical stuff in it.
Okay, I'll get you to do a perception roll for that, please. Or investigation, sorry, investigation.
That's worse. Alright, I use blessing. Well, 21 without the blessing.
Wow! So you obviously have the added advantage of being able to light anything up in the room that is magical.
I see magic for my invocation. I see magic all the time at will.
Yeah, so up there's obviously a lot less magical items than there have been in the last 2 rooms. But things dotted here and there, like drawers glow and what have you. And as you start to look around, purely by Timora's good luck, you're able to notice on his bedside table is Escala's hand sitting open-palmed right next to his bed, right next to some hankies.
So one good hand deserves another. So I'm going to use the mage hand.
No, I'll get it. It'll be fine.
I'm going to use the mage hand.
But Baron, I can do this.
While this is happening, I'd just like Finn to roll me a perception, please.
Is it Finn that just dropped? Someone just dropped from the chat.
Oh, really?
Engine.
I think her internet dropped.
It was, yeah.
I also like to cast a minor illusion, put another hand back on the pedestal.
Okay, so you're using what mage hand?
Mage hand to float the hand over, and minor illusion to create a illusion of the hand that lasts for 10 minutes with no concentration.
That's very good, and you really did dodge a bullet there. As Samedi, you're somewhat distracted by doing what you're doing. Lucio and Dorful, as the hand gets towards you, you can definitely confirm that this is the hand that you've been looking for, and it's been a bit of a shit fight trying to find it amongst all these other limbs. Probably ask no questions as what's that?
Too many limbs.
No, ask no questions about the hankies. That's what we ask no questions about.
That's right. That's a story for a good many rums down the line. Yeah, so very well done. You have all basically managed to find Escala's hand. You know she's going to be made up about that, and it does mean that you're going to be in her good favors.
And then
now you have to get out.
Now I head back down the stairs, man.
Okay, fantastic. So, what's your order for going back down the stairs?
Oh, nice. Finn rolled a 21 for perception as well, which is epic.
Yeah,
That
I
is
see
very
all
good.
bitches.
Well, I'm worried
Finn,
about these.
I was just going to say, Finn, as you've been sort of standing there and your eyes have become very accustomed to the like morning light, more and more people are starting to sort of become active in the streets. No one's really paid any attention to you yet as to like, why is this person just standing around? With that perception, you are able to notice there's one or two sort of true fleet kind of walking around, but as with most, day-to-day life, everyone's just busy doing what they're doing. But yeah, there's definitely more and more people happening, sort of here, there, and everywhere. I'd say now it's about maybe 4 o'clock, maybe 4:15. Maybe just get you to roll a stealth just to see how well you kind of blend in to the daily grind.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. You get a few sort of doxies kind of walking past, still a little bit drunk with some remnants of the clients from the night before, and they pay you attention, but it's not negative. They're just like, hello love kind of thing, and they sort of swing and wave rum bottles around, but they notice you, but they're not disturbed by your presence, so that's a bonus.
Good. Can I still send them? I just want to send a message to these guys to move it along.
Yeah, sure. So I think, who have we got down in the basement?
Oh,
You've got Duval in the basement.
And
Or
maybe
is he-
Finn in our shot as well.
I was just gonna send it directly to. I want to say the Baron.
Yeah,
Seems like the most sensible person.
Hey!
Sure.
Alright. Well, like I said, the Baron's now heading downstairs, nice and quiet, nice and slow, no rush and no touch.
So yeah, basically yeah.
We've
Just
got the
gonna
hand. We've got the hand. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. And I like.
move it, Baron.
That's great. That's great. So you sort of sneak back down. Fortunately, you haven't woken the very heavy sleeper carpenter. It's a real shame you didn't get to meet him, but
Then we go down.
this.
Well, I want
That's
to be
it.
out of the window when these two try to wake up the dolls by snatching things.
I was gonna say, if like the Baron's walking away, he's leaving me and Lucho unsupervised. There's a good chance we're just gonna start stealing shit left and right.
Come
maybe-
on, Waffle, let's go!
Do
Well,
it in
he
the-
left that. He
do it
left
in
that
the
big
bed.
silver bar there.
Did he?
Yeah. There is the silver bar. There's some bound scrolls which Samadhi was able to notice as almost appear to be like magical scrolls, like incantations or that sort of thing that wizards would put in their spell books, or you could perhaps like have a one-off use of.
Hey, Waffle, how much can you carry?
I give the hand in a bag to Duval, and I give him the
How
look.
much can you
I have to
carry?
go I have to go get the children.
I don't have great carrying capacity, but scrolls.
Can you carry
don't weigh
lots of
much.
scrolls? How much
scrolls
armor
for
do you have? I don't have much.
I'm just
I've got a
going to
back-
send a message to Lucho to hurry his butt up.
Like, I've got a backpack. We can just start stuffing it full of scrolls.
Dorfo, let's do it.
I said, I look at, I give them the symbol, I give them the finger symbol that we need to leave. With a stern look.
I look at you questioningly and go, who? Who?
I mean, Mage Hand worked the first time. Why don't we try Mage Handing some of those incantation scrolls development for Hedy?
I don't want to. I don't want to set off the security alarm. I'm ready to go. Take the bar.
I'm gonna grab the silver bar.
Take the bar and let's go.
Alright, I'm gonna steal some plans from the basement on the way out.
Alright.
Yeah, as an artificer, you would find that quite sort of interesting. I'll reveal what those plans are a bit later on, as well as. So you picked up those scrolls as well, did you?
Yep.
Okay,
Come on,
awesome.
come on,
I'll make a
Doral.
note of that.
Jared, wait, you were gonna make me magic. What does this do?
Yeah, can we
So-
Achilles style dunk Lucho in the pool, or?
Yes.
Oh, come on, Lucho. I can sense something not right about this place. I think I have unfinished business here for when we come back.
I'm on the table. I'm ready to jump. Is everyone got their scoring
need-
side ready?
Alright, Baron's
I
leaving.
need Dorful and Lucho to make a deception checks, whatever you call it, roll. Deception
Oh,
roll,
I'm not
please.
good at this.
No, neither am I.
Duval, can you give me the?
You
Can
pretty
you
much
give me
aced it though, Dorful.
I was gonna say, like, you're not good at this?
Duval pulling out as well.
the? Yeah.
Baron.
Basically, Dorful, you've got it together. You've totally not stolen anything. This is fine, and you just kind of saunter past and go about your daily business. All of the mannequins slowly stare at Lucho.
I've just blatantly got a scroll hanging out of my tiny little pouch that's around my neck, and I'm like, nah, no one can see this.
I figured you were just juggling the silver bar as you walked past him.
Alright,
Yeah,
so
it's not hanging
I
out of
look
the
at
pouch.
I look at Lucha and I say, it is time we leave. I suggest that you leave now.
Alright, I froggy leap through the window.
Well
me a
done.
wisdom.
As you leap
you're
out,
gonna suggest? Ooh, that's mean.
Do a wisdom saving throw, man.
Oh. Well, I was gonna come anyway, but fine.
Oh shit, you made it. You made it. Fuck it.
In that case,
I'm coming because I want you, not because you told me to.
I grab one more hand off the table. I'm taking this though, and then I jump through the window.
And then we
as basically Dorful and Finn, you can both basically hear this maniacal kind of chattering, as though the wooden mannequins are kind of jumping and juddering around on the floor, like almost demonically, like you know what I mean, like a bit like something from Silent Hill, and they're twitching and they're like fully enraged. And the other guys are obviously focusing on kind of getting out, but Finn, you've been there for a little while and you're attuned to the environment, and then Dorful, you're basically ace when it comes to noticing stuff. So you can hear this kind of faint sort of chattering. If any of you were to look around, you would see that their mouths are wide open and they're all pointing their fingers as you leave. Lucho, they're pointing at Lucho, but they don't do anything. Even the ones with legs that can move, they don't do anything.
alright, we leave. Lucha, you endanger the mission.
I thought you were saying we leave Lucho.
I'm tempted to leave Lucha. Like, you know.
Duval definitely looks pretty torn. He doesn't want to leave. He wants to go in there and start trashing the place, but he's gonna move. He's gonna come back here later.
We wanted people. Now's
Another
not
day.
the time. Now's not the time to start another fight. Let's leave.
Don't worry, Deval, we'll come back and steal some shit later. And probably burn it down.
This could work for me.
Okay, we leave. We on the road. We make our way back.
That's it. Moving quick.
We also have to change disguises because, true sheep might be looking for us.
True sheep.
Oh yeah.
So, with any luck, you would be portal back to where you were standing before.
Yep.
Excellent. Now, you would have all come in from this direction. However you fancy. Lucho, up there too. Currently, Escala is, I suppose, out of eye range, unless, because there's so many people around already, because it's the morning. You're surrounded by, again, the sort of the strong smell of the ocean. There's the waves. The sun is starting to come up, and it's really warm. You got that nice sort of tropical feel. Off out of the map, sort of down this way, you've got palm trees which are swaying. It's proving to me like it's going to be a very nice day. You guys are all in very high spirits because you did you did a good job of not attacking the carpenter. He got close.
What are you laughing at?
Well, I'm just laughing at how it could have gone, and basically, I suppose DM insight. So I think with your mage hands, you can all pat yourself on the back and be like, "Yeah, we did a good thing there."
Borrow one.
Or you can just pat your own backs. Basically, you come around the corner, and Escala's obviously nowhere to be seen. The dockyard's very busy. And I'll just get all of you, or one of you, to just roll, because I'll speed this bit up, just roll perception with advantage, because you're there as a group.
Right. Perception, I'm only +2.
Whoa.
That's nice.
I like that. Good job, Dorful.
Let's see if it gets better. No, let's go with the first one.
Yeah.
So basically, whilst Finn, Lucho, Dorful, and Duval are kind of taking in the sights, sounds, and smells of the Velen docks, people are like harassing you, saying, buy my fish, it's fresh, and these nets are the best you'll get, that kind of thing. Dorful is just a machine on a mission, and a man on a mission, and despite her distance, you're able to quickly notice that Escala is over by the Emerald Panther. What would you like to do?
Oh shit, hold on. I just realized that part of... I can actually understand... I can lip read. If I can understand the language. Could I see what the dolls were trying to say?
Yeah, they were basically just...
Do they have lips though?
No, I just need to be able to see its mouth. It doesn't say they have to have lips. Oh, wait. No, it does. You can interpret what it's saying by reading its lips.
Damn.
But they have lips. How realistic were these dolls?
I almost don't want to know the answer.
Like a Warforge has, can move its mouth or emanate a sound through its skull or what have you, whatever Warforges have. It kind of opens its mouth. It looks like he spent almost an alarming amount of time on the lips as a prime feature of these 3 female mannequins. And they're basically sort of saying things like, the odd thing you can interpret is like they're going, "Master, master," and then you can't make it out, and some of them are saying, occasionally you see the word thief or that kind of thing, but no sound comes from
Alright, so Maran Samedi is heading to the ship to give the handover and get...
Duval's right behind you.
I don't want to be caught by the true ship. It's enough battles for today.
No, it's time to get to the open sea. We need to put Velen behind us for a while.
So basically you see Escala the ship is sitting a lot heavier in the water now. It doesn't seem to be listing as much. A lot of the docks with all the barrels and supplies have been loaded and have been packed away into the hold below. Iskala almost seems to be looking perhaps for you, but perhaps if someone wants to roll it in sight, I might be able to just tell you a little bit more about that.
Does anyone mind if I do it?
Not at all. I'm only +2.
Go for it.
Well,
You just
I'm
do
a little
it.
higher.
Oh, Finn!
Yes.
Yeah, so
That's my name.
This, even from that distance, even back at the dock crane there, you know that Iskala constantly seems to be looking over to the two True Fleet. Basically, this is the guy you recognize from the night before, but he seems to be joined by another True Fleet member. This guy down here his eyes haven't really left the ship. Although now that you notice that the stock has been loaded in, he seems to be a lot less sort of interested in yourselves and what's going on. Iskala, especially as you look at her, as you approach her, she has just always got one eye on her ship, and she's got one eye on the watch.
Alright,
True Fleet.
now the Baron's going to cast a minor illusion over here, and that illusion's going to sound like something dropping and breaking. Just there.
Okay.
So whilst they look in that direction, I want to give the bag to Iskala and get on the ship.
Righto. I will just roll a perception.
Basically something to distract them so they look north.
Okay.
Pluto, come here.
Intelligence.
Okay.
They take the bait. They're what was your distraction? Sorry, just like a broken sort of sound.
Like a big crashing noise. A minor illusion makes a loud, either makes something appear or makes a loud noise, as loud as a lion. But this is just going to be like a box breaking, dropping from a height, cracking noises, and distract them.
On making that, both the Baron and Finn, you notice the female True Fleet officer nudge the other guy who's been there all night. He's a little bit reluctant to leave, but then they both kind of start to sort of rapidly kind of jog up to where the sound was made and kind of clear the way. Much more intent on where the sound came from, and
Come on,
kind of
Archer,
give you a bit
we're
of a window.
come on, Archer, we're leaving.
Very nice.
Yeah, so as the guards run away, you notice Iskala basically, somewhat flamboyantly, she gives you the most beautiful smile you've ever seen. Like it's like one of those smiles where it just becomes you and her, and all of you feel it as you walk by. It kind of warms you inside and sort of fills you with this sort of sense of confidence, as though nothing's going to go wrong, everything's fine, and you'll basically feel tip top as she welcomes you on board. She goes, bonjour mon ami, I'm glad you could make it. Do you perhaps can you serve a lady's dignity, no?
Yeah, give her the bag with the items she requested, and then I want to duck down out of the way so no one can see me on deck.
She puts it on and examines it, and she goes, please, was it looked after? Was it okay?
Duval's just going to kind of bow and smile and say, it was wrestled from a fate far worse than death. But
It was well oiled and lubricated, so it was good.
Yes. She goes, oui, I can feel that the fingers are very nimble, more nimble than I remember. She goes, "Oh, I have been wanting to do this since I lost my hand," and then literally, incredibly unladylike, with a string of very coarse swear words, she points up to the crow's nest and starts shouting and pointing at one of the deckhands that's up there. It's enough to make a whore blush what she says, and it's very not in character of how she's presented herself so far. She points and starts feeling, you can see a sort of sense of confidence coming about her, and she feels a lot better. She goes, "Merci, mon ami. You have really saved my voyage. I would have lost lots of money, and I would not have been able to face my crew with only half a hand or no hand. Please, you are welcome to travel with me until you can find payment, of course, my friends." So she sort of rushes you on,
definitely.
hurriedly kind of getting you on board to get away from the potentially returning True Fleet.
Nice. Duval is just going to mention as he walks past her, "We'll discuss the terms of the payment, and look, I'm seaworthy hands here. If I can help with casting off, I'm more than happy to help and speed us along our way."
She goes, "Well, yeah, until you cross my palm with the payment, you are expected to be part of the crew. Everyone has a place, don't you worry." And she sort of quickly, very nimbly, oh no, that's the boat. Hang on, let's just lock the boat. She very nimbly, I can't move her, but she very nimbly jumps on board and sticks a wooden finger and a fleshy finger into her mouth and gives off this massive, like, kind of whistle. I'm sorry if that was loud. And she goes, "Ready, me boys," she says, "let's get ready to set sail." And she kind of, well done, you managed to escape. It's then as basically they start to weigh anchor, these guys slowly start to come back and look around. What are you guys doing with regards, how are you behaving on the deck? I know Baron Samedi said that he's ducking down. What are you guys doing?
I'm gonna get in a bucket of water.
You don't want your water suit back?
If there's no bucket of water, I'll come and ask you for my water suit, please.
Okay.
But I definitely prefer a bucket.
The mop bucket.
Okay.
The mop bucket would do.
I'm gonna pat one of those boxes and use magical tinkering again to make like a high-pitched ringing sound and just wander away.
Okay, well that is enough to serve as a bit more of a distraction. They kind of not know what to do with themselves. They kind of amble around the crane and look to where the crate is. Their perception wasn't as good like that time, and they're kind of looking around and, what was that? That's not something we're used to. So if you guys want to position yourself on the boat, you're so we got Lucho. He's choosing to hide in a bucket of water. How about you, Finn? What did you say you were doing? Sorry.
Dolph, get on the boat.
Oh, I was just
carry
gonna
that bucket with Lucho.
I was just gonna climb up the crow's nest and that, and just casting gusts against the sails just for a bit of fun.
Okay, that's awesome. That's really good. Is that an expendable spell slot?
No, gust is a cantrip, so it's basically just for effect more than anything else.
That is so cool.
There you
As you sort of look down from the crow's nest, you finally get this all-around view of Velen. Make me I think I'll just get a perception check, because there's some things that you'll definitely notice.
For moi?
Yes, for you. Okay, yeah, that's pretty good. So within the sort of close quarters of the dock, you see these two True Fleet officers kind of ambling around. They're obviously not the sharpest tools in the shed. What you do notice, though, coming from the direction where you left the carpenters off to what's the northwest, is a small group of which you perceive as True Fleet. One thing that you are aware of already, you notice that the number of actual guards, the guards that you came across in the pub, are very few and far between today. There's a lot more True Fleet around than there were perhaps even the day before. You also notice over here that the cleric of Umberlee, she's there casting away magics. Water's kind of dancing and creating these amazing sort of show. Part of it's kind of generating a bit of a crowd. She waves to Duval as she, unless of course you're hiding, and then of course she won't see you, but she sort of waves to Escala anyway. And she sort of nods and gestures, like as a reminder. And then what you notice is Escala quickly runs to the side of the ship and gets about 3 gold coins and just casts them to the ocean.
I was going to say, Duval's just pulling up his hood, his cowl, but smiles to the cleric and flips a silver over the side while he's looking at the cleric.
Well done. That's so good. I'm so glad you did that. Spoiler alert. Yeah, you guys are basically setting sail. You're leaving Velen behind you. It seems to be as per normal, but like I say, the concentration of True Fleet is almost unnerving. And as the ship rapidly sets sail, thanks to Finn's gust efforts, you sort of get a sense of relief that if you'd have been there for a couple more days, what would Velen have been? So yeah, you jump aboard the Emerald Panther and you head out to the ocean. And so Escala sort of walks up to you and she says, she goes, "There," she says, "there was your destiny." Oh no, she goes, "There was your past, mon amis." And then she turns around and points to the front of the ship that's leading out to the sea and the horizon. And she goes, there is your destiny. Where are we headed?
I thought you just said we were
Where do you want to go? Because she's got her own itinerary. So she's like, where would you like to go?
So many places that we want to go. First and foremost, I think, and he's kind of looking to the rest of the crew, our group, and mentions there is an interesting bounty that we have heard of for a particular fleet of a particular ship. I think it was called the Screaming Sails, but apart from that, we're maybe looking at visiting a couple of Yuan Ti cults along the ways, but I digress. What do we want to look at?
She sort of looks to the rest of the group. She goes, does anyone have a destination in mind? I mean, I have my itinerary, and by the looks of things, from what you said, your plight, you are more than welcome to join me. As long as you pitch in, you're welcome.
Did we actually know where we were heading? Or is it just more of an open boundary?
They were just on a boat.
Yeah, we just wanted to kind of get the F out of there. Well, so she says, she goes, I'm heading to Chelton Waters. There I have some business.
It's like,
What's that?
I know.
Me and somebody are going home.
Aw.
That's right. Yes. Yeah. You're sort of your heart sort of skips a beat as you hear the mention of Chult. Where as in or when, however you chose to leave your homeland, whether it was for good or for bad. She says she's getting close to Chult. She advises you that obviously the best thing was to just lay low for a little while. She sort of mirrors the advice of Merrick, the barkeep, and says, she says, now that I am free on my ship, I can tell you all about True Fleet. They are abominable. And she says, I would only wish all of them dead. Their horrid, elitist ways, their doctrine, I I think there's something more untoward with them, something much more malicious. Every time I dock now, I fear them. You see them, they were watching me and my stock. I had to take at least quarter of this stock is there. She goes on to explain that quarter of the stock that she had to take on board was as like a bounty or as a payment, so she didn't get like scuttled or beaten up or that kind of thing. So she has to run their cargo. She goes on to say about the shrieking sails, and she says basically, she goes, "Oh, mon ami, with all your hearts, more than I can say, please pray to Umberlee that we never have to cross paths with the shrieking sails." She says, they are death, they are floating death, a darkness and a blight on the ocean.
That's a good point. Do you know much of their... As denizens, do you understand what they are, or anything about their ship, or the capabilities of their ship?
She leans in, she goes, "Oh, Duval, my friend, so much I can reveal would only be speculation. There is rumors that the ship is not entirely a ship, but something else, something much more sinister." She says, "It is covered in a terrible mist, a fearsome mist. Most people fear the storm of the shrieking sails. It is a huge warship for those who have survived, and very few survive," she says, and she sort of wags her finger at like all of you, like warningly. She goes, "Those who survive are always changed after experiencing the shrieking sails." She basically goes on to tell you about what you already knew with regards to the sails being flayed bodies and generally it being bad juju. She says there is some speculation that the captain is in affiliation with Shah, the goddess of loss and death. And anyone who knows Forgotten Realm lore knows that Shah is a real bad bitch. Real bad bitch. Yeah, so that's what she says. It's like the old sort of sailors of fairy tale, as it were. Like, you know, beware the shrieking sail. You know, there's like songs written about it, and stories are told in seafaring ports. But yeah, so basically you're basically on this ship, kind of heading into Cholton waters, and for the first day, everything goes pretty well. I'd get all of you just to roll your favored stat, because if you basically have a good charisma, then you will be able to sort of keep morale up by playing tunes or telling stories, and if you're strong, then you would have been able to pull the nets, or dexterous, you would have been able to, you know, climb the rigging, etc. So I'll just get you to roll your favored.
Is it a stat roll or a skill roll?
Just a stat roll. So like,
not athletics, like strength.
Wow. Oh well.
So I'm an
Yeah, I'd probably do that too.
experienced shipwright. Like, that's my background, so I can actually, you know.
I'm confused. People are doing saving throws, stat rolls.
Things are all over the
I don't
place.
know what I'm meant to be doing.
Click on your dexterity
Roll highest.
or your charisma,
Yeah.
the actual score, and roll there.
Oh, up top.
up the top there, yeah.
Yeah,
Why?
it's so much harder. Skill is better because you get proficiency.
Wow, Lucho's strength.
Yeah, I've got 2 other stats with +3 though. Like, you can't be mad. I've got Dex and Con as well. Everything else is in the negative, so it balances, but...
Damn.
Well, you guys do very well, and this first sort of couple of days are kind of non-eventful. She says, you know, we will be at sea for sort of 4 or 5 days. It's sort of at that point that you realise that you're away from any trouble, any kind of dramas. The Baron recalls that you have a few scrolls to look at. There's also that mysterious the map case, and I can kind of let you know a bit more about those if you wanted to. Or
So, can you, Duval, have you learned the identify spell?
I have. I can identify. I
Why then?
need a decent pearl to successfully pull this off.
Didn't we pick up a whole bunch of pearls yesterday?
I think we did.
How many pearls do you need?
Just the
100.
one.
Well, it's got to
All
be-
of the pearls.
it's got to be
100 gold worth of pearl.
100 gold worth.
Right. What are you trying to identify? Sorry, someone started calling me and it cut me off again.
All the items we found, so we need to put it into a list because I don't know what we have.
Okay, I will do a list and put it in the thing. But yes, we have pearls.
Nice.
Simon,
Do
can
you
you
just want one?
I
Simon,
have identified.
Simon, in the text channel, can you just put like a thing that just says magical items? Because otherwise it gets caught in everything else that's happening. Or loot, just loot.
yeah,
I was about to say, I thought we had a loot.
It's
No,
all
not on
over.
this one.
It's all over. So yeah, just maybe a loot in the text channel. And then we can just post stuff there without getting confused with other things.
okay, I'll create a loot page. Just one sec.
Oh, you don't have to do
Loot.
it now. Anyway, let's
Okay.
identify.
So- So what you're able to discern is obviously not much more with regards to the bone-looking map case. Like I say, it is very magical. If almost like if you were like savoring it like you would savor a good wine, it kind of has hints of draconic kind of like lineage to it, or like a draconic kind of sense. There's no particular hostile. Well, there's absolutely zero hostile magic at all. It's not like it's alarmed or trapped, or there's no necromancy. And really and truly, that's all you can really pick up from the map case. It's pretty relatively mundane.
Did you not say there was something inside it though?
There is, yeah. You're going to open it, yeah?
Yeah, very carefully. Use the
Duval's gonna hold it out and look to the Baron and say, maybe the mage hand.
Yeah, I agree with you. So use the mage hand to open it.
Okay, fantastic. As you pull it out, it's like a little screw cap, like a silver screw cap on the sort of the bone on the bone casing. As you sort of pour the contents into your hand, a long, thin platinum rod is the first thing that comes out, and wrapped around it is a tattered piece of paper. Anyone who, you know, basically most people would know that this is a very, very, very valuable piece of platinum. It would almost certainly fetch a very fair price. It would work out to be sort of maybe like 2.5 grand worth. It's like a lot of gold, and so you also get this strange little piece of paper. It seems fairly old, like it's not been disturbed for a while, and I'm just showing that with you now.
Oh, nice.
It's like, imagine it to be fairly small. So on the back is the writing underneath, and on the front is this sort of detailed map. And so for the people that are listening on the YouTubes, it basically says, "Sweet Ellie, if you find this map case and you be of sound mind, then this be the word of Murg Garshal, first mate of the Ring of Bones and your brother. I entrust to ye the only whereabouts of the Ring of Bones treasure hoard. If you have this note, then I fell foul to the captain and her dark goddess. Charter a vessel with this platinum rod and set sail in secret to the location on this map. I trust you to find what is rightfully ours.
Have we ever heard of a Merc Garshel or an Ellie Garshel? I'll look around. Toss a party.
Name doesn't
Ellie,
ring
Ellie.
a bell, but I
It
could
rings a
throw
bell.
a history if it was something.
You guys can roll a history by all means.
Yep, that was Melanie.
Oh, balls on the rolls tonight.
It's yeah, with a 9. You've never heard of an Ellie Garshel.
Never
And
heard
in
of
fact, hanging around in bars from port to port, no one's ever heard of a mention of Ellie Garshel or Merg Garshel. What you do kind of depict from it is that the names, especially Merg, could be a of like an orcish name. But it's not a name of any infamy at all. It's obviously quite interesting that you have a little map, and there's the first mention of Ring of Bones, and the mention of a treasure hoard. And now, presented to you, you have the option of potentially paying to hire the ship for your own discretion, or pocketing the swag and trying to make your own way to Chult from where she drops you.
Like,
These
could
places. These
as a
places.
shipwright, could I work on the boat to try and pay for our fare?
Yeah, by all means. Yeah, like she currently stands. You guys are expected to work hard, and like you all do, whether you're offering support or what have you. It's very hard work. There's always something to be doing.
Yeah, but I mean, like, my background is actually as a shipwright, and I've been working on boats for years.
Yeah.
I could get
So
paid.
do you get paid? No, you don't get paid. No. She makes it very clear to you that she helped you out by getting you away from the unwanted attention.
No, we
Yeah,
understand.
that's fair.
So the places on the map, where do we know where they are? Like, have we heard of Port Castiglione and Mesro and Kichlesindi?
So, are you asking a Scala or shipmates, or are you pocketing? Because I just need to know how you're treating all the things.
I'm asking the random forces of the universe, do I already know these places? Did I grow up near them? Have I heard of them?
Coming from Chult, you have heard of them, certainly, and you know that they're like the other side of the peninsula from where you spent most of your life, where you lived all your life, pretty much. So yes,
And
you definitely know that it's Chult, but you don't know the area because it's very inhospitable. It's quite a difficult place to survive. Coming from Chult, both of you, as two of your party come from Chult, I can let you know that basically it's called the Land of the Lizards, basically that area, and has a lot of. It's renowned for its terrifying creatures. It's also got a concentration of the Oribus of Night in that area.
Of course it does. Alright, so if the captain is going to church, she's going to the other side?
She's basically going to land in the port. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the port at the moment, but yeah, you can track your way through.
Naizaru?
Yeah, that's it, Nazaru.
Okay, maybe we can charter the boat and ask her to take us to Port Castiglagio or Mesro or something.
So you're asking her to make a detour?
No, we're talking first. So that's just a
Sure.
feed. Alright, what else is so the paper's not magical, and I assume the rod is not magical. The platinum rod.
The platinum rod is completely mundane. It's just worth a whole bunch ton.
It's a good thing.
Simon,
Is that metric or is that imperial? Bunch ton?
A bunch ton. That's basically half a ton. It's like a whole lot of that. It's about 4 times of a half a ton.
Okay.
You said it is worth 2,000 gold, is that right?
2,500.
That's right. 2,500 to the right bidder.
Alright, let's just put that value down. So is that, what other items do we have to look at and identify and go through?
You basically have the silver bar, which you were able to assess was, did I say, worth about 50 gold? Which you were able to
Yes.
That's
pilfer from.
Done.
That's quite mundane. And then there were, I would say you had 3 scrolls, which you were able to pilfer as well. These are the scrolls they're all transmutation, because it obviously seems to be the carpenter's bag. You basically find an interesting. The first one is a scroll of magnified gravity.
Whoa.
The second is a scroll of alter self,
Nice.
and a family favorite, heat metal.
Awesome.
Those are the 3 scrolls you find, so well done for stopping and checking them out.
Heat metal is always awesome. The best kind of metal is always the heated kind.
Because I feel like this might come up later. If heat metal is cast on me and I'm metal, does it do damage, or do I just increase my damage if I punch somebody?
No, you take damage because you're
You take
burning.
It
damage.
melt.
You start turning to slag.
Depending on the level of heat, he'd just disfigure horribly.
It would just, eventually become wood.
Yeah, six hours later, you're just a burning pile of slag.
I was thinking like knuckle dusters, and I just like having it cast to the end of my hands.
I advise against.
Yeah, from my experience with that spell, it's usually very uncomfortable to be on the receiving end of it any which way that is fired at you.
Fair enough. That's unfortunate.
Really, you wouldn't want a chastity belt made of it, or any fine breeches.
just as a grunt, I'm from Dungunglung, and I just sent you the map, so like in references to where that bit of map that you just sent to us is on Discord. Just so like, I'm not saying I know everywhere in Chult, but like I'm from reasonably close to where we're going.
Yeah.
Grungalung, oh, Black Betty, Grungalung. That's actually our that's our national anthem, the Grung anthem.
What I would say is, although yes, you're much closer. Basically, everything I told the Baron, you're aware of, but you're also aware of childhood sort of stories of like to avoid that particular area. People would say, terrible things happen there, and obviously being grungs, you don't necessarily gel all that well with hostile Yuan-Ti cults.
No, we do
as
not.
a rule. So
We do not.
you're very familiar with the area and the flora and fauna, and
Like the
what
story
you
of
need to do in
Medray.
order to survive there.
I don't know how much it comes into your campaign, if at all, but the story of Mesro would be one that like I grew up on. So if it doesn't come into your campaign, I will tell it as a story on the boat on our way.
Yeah, by all means. I would like, you out of everyone especially recognize this, and you think, wow, I'm coming full circle. I'm coming back to sort of familiar grounds, to shores more traveled, and you're almost going to become, you and the Baron get the impression that you'll become pivotal to your success in potentially finding the treasure hoard of the Ring of Bones. You basically, what can I say? You like your chances. and you're probably not afraid to let the other crew member or your other team members know this.
Okay, so what other items we got now? What about just the stuff we picked up a while back, just to make sure we haven't missed anything?
So a lot of it, perhaps you generally aren't all that interested in. Obviously, it's sounds like it's a bit of a snatch and a grab. But Dorfel, you grabbed what seems to be conveniently two separate scrolls, which, when sort of kind of worked together, suggest this almost this kind of wooden automaton that you could kind of create. Like, you've got the base building blocks of it's all very difficult to understand. You need to sort of study it, maybe next session, of what it entails. But it sort of presents itself as this kind of spindly wooden automaton. No, but a kind of like a homunculi, as it were, like a wooden homunculi, something that you can kind of set about your to carry packs and that kind of thing, or go and make me a campfire. You know what I mean? Like
like an unseen servant,
slave, as it were. Like an unseen servant. Yeah.
Cool.
Alright.
Definitely need to get up to that one once we're underway there.
So stuff like the bandana, we fully identified that, and the I don't know what other people picked up.
That's right. So, if from memory, you had obviously the orchids, which you know very well. You had the miner's hat, which Lucho is wearing, which gives you the +1. And Baron Samedi picked up the mask, but unfortunately that broke. Can you try to interlude?
Maybe type.
Oh yeah, I will. I'll type it all into loot. Yeah. And yeah, Deval, what was it you purchased? You bought something, didn't you? You bought a fine hat.
Oh, a hat.
A tricorn.
A tricorn hat.
A tricorn hat. Well, you find, it's not every item was as spectacular as the others, but that
fine.
It basically gives you advantage with persuasion.
Oh god.
You find.
Nice.
So you can basically deftly communicate. Perhaps people find you more striking and more debonair in a tricorn than perhaps if you were to not wear it. And so you would get advantage with perception, persuasion.
Nice. Oh, with the scrolls, happy to hang on to the alter self and transcribe that into the spellbook. But by magnify gravity, did you mean reverse gravity?
I'll see if I can share it with you.
Because we've not heard of magnify gravity.
Reverse is a 7th level, so that could be a very kick-ass scroll to have in the back pocket.
Oh, I'm not 100% sure on how spells work with spellbooks. Can you transcribe it into a book?
Can transcribe it into a book, but I think you've still got to get to a high enough level to be able to actually do that spell. So I think that one could be out of reach for a while.
Oh, this one's a first level spell.
That's the first level. Oh.
I've not heard of this spell ever.
No, neither have I.
There's also apparently rules if it's a higher level than what you can cast normally. There's like rules to do with Arcana or Religion checks versus the DC of the spell. It's like DC of 10 plus the spell's level, and you can make an Arcana or Religion check, and then you can cast it. I'm reading.
Give it a shot. Nice.
Where'd you get
a beefy first level spell.
Yeah, where'd you get the spell from? Because there's not in the book. It's not in any book.
It should be in, I think it's in the one that Critical Role did. What's that Matt Mercer did?
But the original one or the new one?
The original one, I think. The one with the blood hunters in. Blood mage, sorry. I'll probably find it at the end of the session. I just noticed it as I was
That
the
could
other
be
day.
snazzy. It looks cool. Looks very
Yeah.
cool.
It could
I'd
be
like
pretty
to
handy.
I could gravitate some bitches. That'd be great.
Up you go. So Escala sort of saunters up to you and she sort of tries to get a bit of a look at what you're all kind of huddled around, but without looking sort of too rude. How do you react to this?
I might just pocket the platinum real quick, just in case.
Magnify
Ask her how her hand's going and if she needs any maintenance on it.
All right, magnify gravity is an explorer's guide to what do you call it? Waymount. It's a new book.
Yeah, Waymount, that's it. Okay, yeah. So she goes, I appreciate all that you have done for me and my crew. You are really starting to befriend them. They have not seen many of your kind, and she sort of points to Dorfo. She says, I think a lot of my men have taken a shine to you in a very positive way. Both you and the Water Ganassi Finn. With your knowledge, all my crew feel very safe, that nothing should go wrong here. She nods to Duval and Samadhi and Lucio, and she says, and you bring a certain flavor to my ship that I have not experienced in a long time, and I am grateful to travel with you. And it was almost, you get the impression that she is very glad that you're there. Like it almost bolsters her as her abilities. It's almost like you're giving her pluses.
The Baron gives out the guidance willy-nilly. And if any of a man had any very minor, injuries, the Baron heals him with snakes, but he heals them. Little bit
Well,
of
so far it's
Uh-oh.
Yep, he's gone.
Ah, we've lost you. Oh no! Oh, it's lit up, but I can't hear him.
Nah, I've got nothing from him.
He did this whole spiel thing one time and we heard none of it.
I think he's doing it right now.
Got it.
There it is. Sorry, gash. Gasp. PG.
Spare the die. I gotta touch him. Yeah.
What are you looking at?
I realized I've got one unused. I can have 5 spells. I've only got 4, so now I'm looking at my spell list. But I really want to use Ray of Frost, but it's a cantrip, and I've already got 2 cantrips. Hold on.
okay. I literally am wringing Discord's neck. Okay.
How far
Whereabouts
into the
did you hear
spiel
up
were
to?
you?
Yeah, I was heavily into it. I was really, yeah. That's a very much a chesticle. That's a shit testicle.
I'm sorry, please start again.
Where are we up to? Oh, that's right. Yeah. Yes. So, have you let on about the map to Escala? Basically, when she comes over, are you showing her it? Are you hiding it? Are you hiding it so she sees it? Do you know what I mean? Like, how are you reacting? Are you bringing her in on this quest, or are you basically just keeping it hush and she can drop you at the port? Thanks very much. See you later.
What does everyone think?
I mean, she seems to like us. We could get her on board.
True.
Just no one, take him nowhere.
So that's a yes and a no. What does everybody else say?
Like, give him nothing, take him nowhere. That's the phrase.
I definitely like that we're on a fast ship. I think that's going to be pretty epic. Can definitely use this for the time being until another opportunity maybe comes up.
Are you suggesting mutiny?
Not mutiny, just if a horrible fate was to befall her in combat, then who'd take over the... No, not mutiny.
This is dark. You guys are dark. Like you're filling nappies. You're filling diapers, nappies left, right, and center. When I put up some creepy dolls, but you guys are thinking about killing captains. Damn.
It's perfectly reasonable. It's how things are done.
So I've got an I from Finn. No, I've got a nay from Finn. I've got an I from Duval. How about Dorfel and Lucho and Baron Samedi? Are you gonna bring her in on this? Like, what do you guys suggest?
Yeah, I'm on board.
I'm kind of on board with Finn.
I'm with Duval.
Oh, so Samedi, Sir Baron Samedi, you have the deciding vote.
My concern is true fleet spies upon the ship. Not just
there's
about
something
her.
you haven't looked into yet.
I don't want my hometown being overrun by True Fleet. That's not happening.
Wait, what did you just say, DM?
I said it. Basically, the decision, to some extent, sits on Baron Samedi, unless he's. No, he hasn't said what he'd like to do. Whether he wants to bring a Scala in or not.
One moment.
You want me to make the decision?
Well,
it's,
what is your vote?
it's a 4-way tie at the moment, so 2-way tie.
This is where you need to flip a coin.
Where are you looking? Where are you looking? I can't see it. How do you know it's a 4-way tie?
Because Duval and Dorfel are on board with bringing the captain. Finn and Lucho are against it.
Well, I mean, I just don't want to dock too close to my hometown.
Oh no! Currently, if you don't ask her to drop you exactly where the map says, or try and persuade her with your newfound tricorn hat, you will basically get dropped at the main port of Chult and have to find your way through to the area. Otherwise, she can make a small detour. You imagine she can make a small detour and set you off there before she docked the other side of the peninsula.
I said maybe we make a deal with her. Dock, drop us off, come back 10 days later or 5 days later, something like that.
That sounds optimistic.
25 days later.
21 days later.
Well, so she hears you bickering, and she goes, "Is there a problem? How can I help you? We are but 2 days from the Chultan Peninsula, the whole area. Do you have any requests for when we get close by? I intend to stop at Nazar and drop off this horrid stock." Horrid cargo of the True Fleet. Is there anything you would like to do on the way? I'm afraid it's not much of a sightseeing place, but yes. What would you like me to do?
There's always some interesting characters at Port Nyanzaru. I mean, have you met the Baron?
That's the other side of where we want to go.
That's
Looking at the map, you would guess that that's maybe a 3 to 5 day travel. And anyone that's been to Chult knows that 3 days is if it's good weather and you get there undisturbed, and 5 days is basically you only need a tropical storm, or you need, lose your way, or
So no one wants to head to Port Castilla. We can dock the boat. We can leave. The boat can head out. Come back later. Pick us up from the same port.
I'm trying to find a bigger Chult map so I can.
I'll send you one. I'll send one to the group chat.
Please.
nice.
Big.
I ran Tomb of Annihilation. I've got all the maps.
Okay. So it sounds like the consensus is to basically at least stay on board for another day or so. Obviously, because you can't really go anywhere because you're on a ship. So the overall consensus is that where were you going to be dropped?
Well, it sounds like the Baron has voted for Port Castiglia, so
It's the closest one.
As long as we think it's a safe enough spot for us to get off.
It's a fair amount to head south to get to the little bay that treasure is in. It would be nice to have the ship.
But which one is it? Isn't there an X out of Mahahaha as well as another? And there's another one. Which one is it?
The X on the... It's not the wreck of the narwhal. It is more in the little inlet that is sort of to due east of the wreck of the narwhal.
Yeah, it's the big fat one. Let me just call the map up again, and I can properly describe it. Show.
What are you looking
What
at?
if we go to Refuge Bay?
either that or get dropped off near the Valspide. I can't pronounce that.
Are you guys looking the same thing I am? Because that's not what I'm seeing.
I just sent a new map to the
General.
Discord.
Refuge Bay is further away than Port Castigliar. Only just.
This is great because this is a player decision for once and not a DM decision, so I love it.
I'm fine. Like if you look at the map that I sent on the Discord, like I'm fine with being dropped off at Refuge Bay because it's far away enough from my hometown, but close enough that it's not going to be quite as far. Or is it going to be more travel? I don't know actually.
I think it'd be more. I'd like to propose we go to Port Castigliar and then maybe offer some money, offer something. Start negotiating with the captain to head down to the south into the bay. So we're seafaring. It's going to be much quicker.
Yeah, I agree with Bob.
Okay, great. So it sounds like you're heading over to the east side of the peninsula, in the general direction of Kitcher's Inlet, with the intention of stopping at Port Castiglia.
That's right. And then heading on down to the south, whether we use the Emerald Panther or we find another more worthy ship or faster ship or stronger ship.
Or we make a ship.
Oh, we make a ship.
We're a little bigger
Okay,
boat.
fantastic. Yeah, so that's great. So she says, très bon. So with this, I shall, of course, make a detour. You have proved yourself very competent, and I am grateful to have two very adept shipwrights and people who I already would class as mon ami, my friends. The third day goes unabated without any real trouble, but a storm seems to set in for the on day 4, and as you start to see land, but the weather has really taken a turn for the worst. Basically, sorry, I'm just trying to.
I probably should have remembered now that I picked up a bunch of books that was back in the Blackthorn that were about maritime things. I think one of the options was to share them out if anyone wanted to pick up some proficiency in sailing. I'm going to start fumbling books out of my cloak.
I already have proficiency, unless it'll give me expertise.
yeah, you currently have proficiency. It's definitely a book that the likes of Baron Samedi would benefit from, or on this voyage, and obviously Lucho would benefit strongly from it as well.
Finn, can you read it to me? I don't know how to read.
With pleasure, my little friend.
This way is the port. This way is the starboard.
The
The
starboard?
rudder.
What's the starboard?
Bow.
That's
Oh, I can
literal.
bow, yes. And I take a bow. I don't see what these have to do with boats.
What's that, sorry?
Well, starboards and bowing, what do they have to do with boats?
I think
Well, yes.
Do you know
I was
your
going
left
to
and
start
right?
drawing a picture.
Oh, so it's left and right. Right.
Front and back.
Yep.
Gotcha.
Just, do me a favor and raise your left hand.
I raise my right hand.
There we go.
Did
You'll
we
What's that?
You'll do great at
Sorry.
this.
did we offer Escala money to take us to Port Castigliare, or is she just doing it out of the kindness of her heart?
Initially, when you first spoke to her in the docks, it was obviously about striking a contract. You've very much proven yourselves over these last sort of 3 days, so she's more susceptible to helping you out. I think with a good perception roll, persuasion roll, you could even potentially stand to basically pocket the platinum, which would have usually paid for a journey like this for that many people. So you could try and persuade her to just do it, but if you fail, then do bear in mind that you're probably going to have to pay the ferryman, as it were.
Well, I was
the
going to
gamble
offer her
is all
to fill
yours.
the bar, but, you know, that might be a bit over what she wants.
Aaron,
Yes?
The silver bar.
are you able to have a talk with our lovely lady here?
Yeah, what do you want me to talk about?
We're asking her very kindly if she will take us to Port Castigliare on the way. Out of the goodness of her heart.
Absolutely, and I go and borrow Duval's hat.
Yes, I'll pop that on your head as you're walking past. I'll wear the top hat for a while.
Yeah, just careful. Alright. So I put the hat on and I go and ask the captain.
Why is there a stogie in this hat? What is going on?
It's a hat of stogie hunting. There's lots of stogies. What's it? That's Cholton Gold.
So-
Be careful when you smoke that one. It gives you like a...
Cholton Gold. I've got fields of the Cholton Gold, man.
Duval instantly becomes Archmage.
And that's Port Nyanzaru surprise. So be careful that one. The surprise is a big bang. Alright. So I'll the Baron will go and talk to the captain,
Escala?
Escala,
Okay.
and ask
She goes, bonjour, my broodmate of another mother. It is... how can I help you, my friend?
Sister, we're wondering whether or not you'd be kind enough to drop us off at Port Castigliare.
Oh, it is not exactly on the route I had planned, my friend, but
How far would it delay your journey? Like how many days we're talking about?
we are not. It would maybe take perhaps only 8 hours into my journey, so not too bad. I am reluctant. She sort of folds her arms and she says, I have other trips. What is your business there, might I ask?
Well, let's say we have some unfinished business with somebody who tried to kill us originally.
Oh, she goes, oh, so it is revenge, and she leans in, and you get the impression that she's into this.
Well, if you can't take us to Podcast Dialogo, how about as close as possible? If 8 hours is just a day, and my friend over there, she is giving you some extra win to get you there a little earlier.
So she kind of like jumps into the whole like seafaring legends kind of thing. She goes, so on my ship I have vengeful adventurers who want to slay their enemies. And it is I, Captain Escala, who shall be the one to charter their fortunes. It seems that either I do or I do not. And she kind of wags her fingers with an upturned palm as if to say, how desperately do you want to get there, my friend? I like you, and we can negotiate, eh?
Well, how much is your inconvenience worth? I'm not sure of the value of this. I mean, are we talking 100 gold? Are we talking 50 gold? What are we talking about here?
She goes, it is a day of food for my crew, so we say 100 gold, monsieur.
Okay. I will arrange for 100 gold. I won't negotiate. I'm not going to waste your time. I'll arrange for 100 gold in various denominations. I'll come back to you.
And just like literally just for flavor, are you paying her with actual gold, or are you going to pay her in 100 gold's worth of like gems and shit? Just for flavor.
Other thing I don't know, because I don't know what we have, because I don't know.
Okay.
Well,
We need a combined loot page.
Yeah.
I offer you to give her the silver bar that's worth 50 that I picked up.
I thought it was worth 500. Was it 50?
No, 50.
Alright, well, we got that gold, we got the silver 50, so that's half.
We should make
And
this up.
5 pearls.
We really...
They were worth 10 gold pieces each.
Yeah. She goes, très bon, and merci. I do not want to take the Duke's dirty money, so I am glad I can spend this anywhere. I am most grateful. And she says, my ship is your ship. I shall take you to this port, and I will assign my best men, and we'll make best speed haste on the ocean. Though there is a storm coming, she says, and she points, and she says, unfortunately, we have to travel through that. There is no way around. And as far as you can see, there's this big, rolling, grey storm, which you feel you have to pass through.
Do we need to, like, I don't know, make sure the sails are okay, or make sure everything is lashed down very carefully so nothing goes awry? Do we need to use some
she
extra
says
ropes?
yes. She says, my friends, now more than ever we must pull together as a crew. Whether you have paid or whether you have not, she says, our very lives may well depend on how we get through this storm. And I would need everyone to roll their favored skills again, so Dex or Con or what have you.
Alright, so not a skill, but a stat.
A stat, yes.
Okay. I don't know if my sailing background will help out, but...
Any?
I'll take that into account.
Well, hey.
No one said I couldn't do wisdom.
A wise sailor.
That's good.
Hell
that's
yeah,
good.
that's how I know how to build.
So you're very wise. You're like, shouldn't that be like that? Shouldn't that be like that? So whilst maybe the likes of Lucho and Dorful still excel, they they don't excel quite as hard as Finn, who's basically like, do this and shouldn't we do that? And then with Dorfal's reinforcement and his shipwright capabilities, you guys are able to brace the storm. As you brace the storm, the rolling clouds begin to roll in, and it feels like a natural storm. And just as it goes on, and it kind of lingers, and you're like, this is going on for quite a while, and you know that tropical storms in the middle of the ocean can be quite like scary or menacing. And then you like the hairs on, Dorfal doesn't have hairs on the back of his neck, but you'll begin to get a kind of a sense of something isn't right. You get this kind of sense of anxiety, and that there's I'll get everyone to just do a perception check for me.
Individually?
Individually, please, yeah.
Where's it? Oh my god, I can't even remember the goddamn alphabet right now.
Oh wow.
At least my character's doing better than I am. I was looking up at like deception, like where the fuck is perception? P, right.
Boom. Oh, damn it.
We make you
I
perception.
feel like I'm doing better than my
perception, please.
character tonight.
Oh wow.
Nice. Beautiful.
Oh,
So basically, Baron Samadi, Lucho, and hang on, I'm looking, and Finn. Oh no. Yeah. Dorfal and Baron Samadi and Lucho. You get this kind of sensation. You've heard of the of when people experience being shocked by lightning, and that their hair begins to stand on end, and it's like there's some kind of static charge that begins to pull through them as the ions begin to kind of strike. It's similar feeling to that. The rest of you guys, you're not feeling it. You may be more distracted by the fact that there's great big waves, and you're feeling a little bit ill. This isn't necessarily to do with lightning. It's just a feeling you get of complete unrest, and then suddenly just the storm becomes harsher. The rain becomes colder, and then begins to. You notice that the water that logs and lands on the deck begins to pool in almost like an inky black kind of water, and then the almost all light begins to slowly become engulfed and like eaten away, and you become aware of basically off to what is the starboard side. The light is just being consumed, and you can still hear the storm. It's raging, and it becomes worse and worse, and visibility becomes worse and worse, and it almost becomes like it's nighttime off to the starboard side. You still have visibility off to the port side, but the starboard becomes really dark, and I need everyone to roll. It's a wisdom save, please.
Ooh.
Yo! I didn't get this very good with that at all.
Fuck you rolls. Fuck you rolls.
like everyone else is so great. Gaval is not having a great week.
I love Luke.
I feel like everything is under 10 tonight.
I'm trying really hard here, guys, okay? I don't want to Lucho this up.
You did so well, my dear Lucho.
My turn. I'm gonna Duval this up.
Gaval, go to a Lucho.
I'm going to do vain like that.
Ducho.
It's basically you guys. I mean, as a group, you guys do pretty well. It's unfortunately only Lucho and Finn who get this unbearable sense of fear, and you are now under the effect of fear. You, as you look around, you become aware that whether you can see them or not, your ship suddenly just basically starts to shriek and scream in fear as crew members that were once busy rustling around, climbing rigging or battening down hatches, etc., are considered, to be frightened, and they are kind of losing their shit. You see Captain Escala. She's managed to basically maintain her mindset, as it were. She's managed to keep her resilience, and she's shouting commands, but they're almost falling on deaf ears. With regards to this fear, you basically want to move over to anyone that failed wants to move over to the port side. So I can't remember ships that well, but it's basically the other side of the ship, and you're inclined to get as far away from this black storm as possible. Yeah, port is to the right. Okay, I wondered if it was. And you're basically no good for anyone. The horrible sort of tense, it's almost an anguish now of fear becomes so right, but a lot of you may have been able to pass it. The storm begins to pass, rain is pelting down, these black puddles are appearing everywhere, it's beginning to sort of stain the sails and the clothes that you wear, and a black roiling mist, almost like a crown, sits on the ocean ominously. Within about 100 feet of you, a ship just appears out of the roiling mist. It almost parts. It's an enormous, great big warship. It kind of dwarfs the much faster Emerald Panther as it comes almost hurtling towards you. It basically, Dorfel and Finn, you're aware of how strange the ship behaves. It's not like any ship you've seen. It comes tearing towards you, and any other ship would have just rammed you in half at that speed. But it just kind of breaks, and almost a wash rolls off the bow of the ship towards you as it comes to a halt, as if it was suddenly anchored. This alone goes against anything you've ever learned about ships, and you all feel very on edge and uneasy. It's followed by the wind just blows this horrific sound of screeching and wailing and terror, and it's the most horrific ordeal you've probably ever experienced on the ocean. The waves that were once these great big like mountainous waves that were throwing a ship everywhere suddenly become calm, as though some strange dark magic was in play just to settle the mood. And there's this crown of silence all around you as all you can hear are these shrieks from the ship that's 100 feet away from you. It seems to sit there and almost float ominously like a beast that's about to prey. You've never seen anything like it in most sort of ships. It slowly kind of creeps towards you as it like lumbers over the waves, and just throughout the bedlam, throughout everyone screaming, you hear Escala cry out. She goes, "The shicking sails! Oh merde! Oh merde!" And she's running around. She's going, "Oh no! Oh no!" And she kind of like basically goes, "No, we must escape." So she quickly tries to sort of rally her sailors, her crew, and they begin to kind of rally together and set sail. As you look up on this great big like domineering ship, you see like strung together like puppets are these like dangling flayed cadavers. It's the most horrific thing you've ever seen. And she goes, "We must escape, we must escape." The shrieks are muffled, and then suddenly, just in the blink of an eye, the shrieks become incredibly loud as in the middle of the deck appear these 8 what appear to be prisoners. They're on their knees, they're in rags, their hands are bound, and they're screaming like a blood-curdling scream that you've never heard before. It runs through your veins, and it's likely a feeling you will take to the grave. With that, the ship, unbelievably, although the sails appear to do no mechanical drive, the ship begins to back into the storm, almost like a swaying serpent. It begins to sort of swoop back into the roiling fog. The fog clears slightly, and then you're just suddenly hit with the smash of rain, and nature almost appears to resume normality. It's something that you can all comprehend as being as visceral as something that you can understand. The experience was so quick, the exchange was so momentary, but you're faced with 8 what appear to be almost slaves or prisoners crying out, crying, weeping. You've got majority human, there's some elf in there, dwarves, bound, looking in a very bad way, shrieking at the top of their lungs on your ship. What would you want to do?
Whoa, so we hit their ship and now they've fallen onto our ship, is that right?
They just almost, out of game, they were teleported there, but in game, they just all appeared on your ship.
Whoa.
What do you want to do?
I think, I'm still sitting in fear, so I'm all for lending all of my sailor's knowledge to hightail it the hell out of there to get the wind in our sails.
It does seem like a pretty good idea.
Although if he wasn't scared, then I'd be terrified of what Duval would do next.
I'm frightened. I wish to depart. And maybe push prisoners away to get them away further from us.
Okay. Anyone else have anything they want to do with these? What can I call them? Guests. With these guests.
Bound guests.
Convicts.
Convicts. Send them to Australia.
It took me half a second to remember the way in Australia.
Isn't our dear DM from the UK?
I am, yes.
Now it's here.
Sorry.
But basically, probably more than anyone wants to do this whole colonization thing as much as possible, to show how terrible it is. You'll eventually see that, I'm sure.
Am I able to tell how tough of a fight we'd be in for if we engage these things?
Well, they just appear to be normal, regular, scared, I would say commoners, for want of a better word. It's almost strange. The whole thing is bizarre, and perhaps, maybe I'll get everyone to do their favored intelligence roll, just insight. Everyone roll an insight.
Yeah, cool.
That's my roll. You stole my roll. Insight.
Oh, that is marginally better.
Hey.
Yo, I'm whoa! That was
There had to be a natural one in there. It was all going downhill. Duval's just terrified. He can't do anything.
It's okay, Duval. I'm here for you.
At the same time, the fucking frog barbarian is just on top of all of this.
I'm only 2 foot. If I'm scared of things, there's no point in being here. I gotta be brave to make up for my height, okay?
And some days brave gets mixed with stupid, you know. It's the same thing.
That's like every day. That's every day. They're just the same thing.
Basically, the difference between being brave and being stupid is the outcome.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
Let's be real, most of the time it's just stupidity with me.
So, I mean, you know, looking at your roles, Lucho, you're basically able to determine that what you've seen here is not right. As far as are they a threat, you get the impression that given everything you've experienced and the fact that all that happened was that these people were put on board, that it's either really, really very good or really, really very bad. And that's how we'll leave it.